President Trump says Washington, D.C. is now, in his terminology, safe. This just a week into his crime crackdown involving federal forces, among them National Guard troops. And, incidentally, National Guard troops from 4 Republican states are now heading to Washington, D.C. If they arrive, this would nearly double the number of soldiers already here. And a White House official says those National Guard forces may, in the future, be armed. Scott MacFarlane joins me now. Scott, catch us up on what the weekend revealed, where these forces are, and significantly where they are not.
The National Guard troops that are visible to people who go through Washington, D.C. are in those visible locations along the National Mall, near the transit hub, big train station in Washington, D.C., in spots where you'd see a lot of tourists, a lot of visitors, and some amount of crime. They're not in actual neighborhoods, the granular neighborhoods we all can relate to, places where there's a school, where there's single-family homes, condominium towers,
and
pharmacies.
And significantly, statistically higher episodes of crime.
Where the actual residents are.
And where the criminal action has been. They're not there.
The community members would say, yes, they've had histories of spikes in crime in Northeast Washington, D.C., and Southeast Washington, D.C. They're just not seeing federal agents or National Guard troops there now. The role of the Guard is limited. They're not carrying firearms now. As you mentioned, they may soon be doing so. They're not making arrests now. But the National Guard's reinforcing their numbers quite a bit without a clear mission. They're going to double the number of troops in Washington, D.C., with those other 4 states adding their troops to the mix.
And there is an immigration component to this. We saw that play out over the weekend.
A percentage of these arrests, a good percentage of these arrests, are people who are accused of immigration violations. And, of course, one of the main criticisms the president and his administration have had of Washington, D.C. is they argue Washington, D.C. has been a sanctuary community where they don't fully abide by federal immigration rules. This is, in part, changing the complexion of how Washington, D.C. handles federal immigration rules by having federal agents doing the law enforcement.
The president also said today people are going to restaurants in Washington, D.C. for the first time in 4 years. That's not true. People go to Washington, D.C. restaurants with regularity all the time.
And the business owners in Washington with whom we spoke tonight for the CBS Evening News are reporting that's not so much true now as it was a week ago, that they've seen some downturns in their customer load because of either concerns from outsiders of coming to Washington or people who live here not wanting to go out as much with there being federal law enforcement manning the corners.
Because it looks a little intimidating depending on what street you're driving down and at what speed.
So I tell you what, though, fascinating issue. There's not one opinion on one side and one on the other. A whole portfolio of different views on this inside Washington, D.C. It'll be fascinating how that changes over time.
Scott MacFarlane, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much.